And what's up, everybody? It's Joey Bags, and I'm back with another live stream. Yes, it's almost midnight. Yes, it's 11:52 on a Wednesday night, and yeah, I'm live streaming at this time. But hey, I've already explained what my situation is and what times are good for me. So it is what it is. If it's too late for a lot of people, which I can completely understand, I am really sorry, and I do apologize, but I'm kind of working with my schedule. And if this works out for you, hey, that's awesome. And I'm glad you're able to join. So we're going to do a little bit more iRacing just because we're going to milk that algorithm. I do want to get some viewers. I do want to get some thumbs up. I do want to get, more people interested in the channel. And if I have to race iRacing, which, not bad. I am liking the new weather setup though, that I do have to say. Let's get off of my main screen. Nobody wants to see my ugly mug. Everybody kind of wants to see what's on my screen. So, oh no, but nobody wants to see a black screen. Yeah, I want to see this. There we go. I have to say, so my favorite type of racing, which I think I've said before, is small cars, small tracks. So in iRacing, it would be the Formula Ford 1600, the what's that other little one? It's pretty much my favorite. The Formula V, the Global MX Miata. Those are actually my favorite cars to run on here. And pretty much on all the other sims, I tend to run the same courses, the same cars, and it's just because it's what I find enjoyable. I know everybody else either likes the GT3s or this is weird. Hold on, let's take a look here. Let me see what my filters are. They all set? Yeah, okay, everything is good. Okay, so everything is the way it should be. I don't know, I guess it's just looking a little weird to me. Let's just adjust this a little bit. There we go. So like I was saying, everybody has their things. Everybody seems to love GT3s and the Le Mans prototypes and the LMP2s. I'm not too fond of those. For me, it's really my favorite is the small cars. You know what? No, we're not going to do the Formula Ray. Let's get accustomed to that GR86. Yeah, there we go. Since that has wet tires, we're going to do that there. We're not going to do this in rain for right now. It's been a while since I've actually driven on here. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna do that. No track moisture. We're gonna run this pretty much dry for right now. And we can do partly cloudy, so then that way at least we get a little bit of sunshine coming through. And just that way so I can get reacclimated to the vehicle, because it's been some time. And I've lamented in many videos how I feel about iRacing and the handling and how it, handles certain things. I mean, the handling as in the car physics and the tire models and how it reacts to the road and the inputs from me, that kind of handling. But then how it also handles the everything else. So I've never been a super huge fan of iRacing, but quite honestly, it has a huge following. That it does. You can't deny it at all. It has a huge following. So because it has such a huge following, let's see. I'm hoping I'm not hearing anything here. I hope the sounds are coming through. If you happen to hear the birds chirping in the background, let me know, because I'm really not seeing anything coming up on my, let's take a look here. Yeah, I'm not hearing anything. So funny. Like, I want to make sure that everything is good to go. So we got that. You know what? Let's see. Maybe we just need to get into it. Ah, there we go. So the birds chirping wasn't enough, but seems like everything else in the background is good to go right now. So, all right, like I was saying, let's get a little bit of seat time in with this. Oh, I need to lower this. It's a little bit too loud in my ear. So let me get reacclimated to this GR86 before I start throwing rain at myself. Oh, and my radar came up. Nice. So if you guys watch, you know, any of the other which I'm sure you guys all watch the other SimTubers, and, you know, you've seen all the videos that have been just inundating sub boxes with iRacing and racing in the weather, and just actually how difficult it actually is. It's not an easy thing, which is a great thing, it not being easy to do. At that point, you know, you actually have to put time in to develop the skill, and I'm sure there's gonna be tons of people practicing, just trying to, you know, get themselves acclimated to now wet weather racing. You know, we've had dry, you know, well, at least in iRacing, you know, it's always been dry weather, dry weather, dry weather. And now that we have, everybody's been asking for rain, and now we have rain, and oh boy, do we have rain. Gotta learn to be a little more gentle with this. I have to say, I think the consensus of everyone is that the Tempest weather system is actually really well implemented. Going through all the menus, you know, going through the setups of it, it's actually a really good system, and it's pretty easy to set up. What I would wish would happen is that they didn't limit the amount of vehicles that now had wet weather tires, you know, just because the newer GT3 cars do. But if we're gonna sit there now, they've kind of put, you can make the argument that they put rain behind a paywall. Now you're gonna say, Joey, what are you talking about? Because it's on all the tracks, true, but it's not on all the cars. And yes, it is on some of the cars that they give you, like the GR86 and the Formula Ford 1600, the Rays. You know, there's a limited number of cars that have the wet weather tires. Well, actually, the Formula Ford, they just use an all-purpose tire, you know, all around. So it using an all-purpose tire, that's why you can go ahead and drive it in rain. That PX, just the beast. That 10 newton meter base, what's up, Mr. Rodbanks? That 10 newton meter base is a beast. That's why when I had it on my Challenger rig, I had to turn it down to 8 newton meters, because at 10 it would just shake everything. And I have some figures and a couple of pictures of my kids up on my top of my computer tower, and at the full 10 newton meters it would just shake and knock everything off of there. At 8 it still would do something similar, but they didn't fall, so I was okay with it at 8. But at 10, yeah, that DDS from PXN is no joke. Actually, I've been quite missing it, that I need to do a few things setup wise to my rig. Some changes to the wheel deck I made because I want to connect the PXN again, just because it's been so long that I've had it on the rig and I kind of miss it. Well, you see, that's the thing. If you're able to turn it down to like 8 Newton meters, you still do keep some of the definition, you know, that fine road texture and feel, especially when it comes to like curbing and, you know, road imperfections and bumps and stuff. But you also can kind of help with clipping. So if you're running it at like 80%, which would be 8 Newton meters of the 10, you can kind of keep it from clipping instead of running it at the full 10 Newton meters, which I can tell you, it was very rare that I got any clipping on it, but it will happen. And, you know, using it slightly underpowered will help a little bit if you're noticing that that is becoming a problem. So like I was saying, I think the Tempest system is awesome, but like I said, I can make the argument where they kind of put it slightly behind a paywall. So unless you're buying the newer GT3 cars, the newer LMP2s and the Daytona Pro, if you're not buying some of the newer cars, which now have wet weather tires, you're not able to fully use the rain. If you really wanted, okay, so if you're like me, where I am not a fan of iRacing's business model, as I've said numerous times, and quite honestly, I'm not going to spend money. I'm not going to spend 12 bucks on a Porsche and then another $12 on the Ferrari and then another $12 on the AMG. I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to spend that much money when, quite honestly, I can just load up just about any other sim I have, race in those cars with weather, AC. I've got rain in the Assetto Corsa. ACC, I believe, has rain. I don't think I've ever tried it, but I think it does. AMS2, I know it has rain. I've driven in the rain in that one. So since I'm not super married to, I don't know why, but even on the Xbox, AC just feels more realistic in it. You know, I think I've said this before. I only have Assetto Corsa on PC, which is modded out, and on PlayStation 5. I don't have it on Xbox. Playing Assetto Corsa on PlayStation 5, it feels super outdated. It still feels good. The driving, the handling, the physics, everything is, you know, good. You know, I still enjoy it, but I don't enjoy it as much as I do as Assetto Corsa on PC with all the mods. And when you look at it, is a little, the look is a little dated, and that's mainly because I'm coming from PC where I'm running, you know, Sol and Pure. I'm running custom PP filters, so I get that slightly higher res, you know, better fidelity, slightly more photorealistic than, you know, some of the other sims or how you would get it on PS5 or Xbox. So yeah, I can kind of, well, I mean, if you kind of look at all of my videos are pretty much budget oriented. I think the most expensive, you know, out the box setup I have is this Fanatec, and really everything else is pretty much within the realm of affordability if you have, you know, if you're able to, you know. Now if you've got life coming at you, dropping 500, 600 bucks on sim equipment may not be realistic. But then that's also why I really like the Camus C5. You know, the Camus C5 is 250 bucks. And now that it's been out for a while and the C12 is available, there's a lot of people that may be selling their C5s to upgrade to a C12. So you might be able to snag the C5 at maybe 200 bucks or less if someone's willing to, you know, to sell it. And at that point, that's actually a better bargain than, I guess, a Logitech or Thrustmaster gear setup, if you're able to source pedals at a discounted rate, and if you're not stuck on console. So, you know, that's kind of where I kind of aim it. It's, for me, console is very important. PlayStation and Xbox is extremely important to me. I mean, PC, like build a PC. Oh, building a PC. Okay. I am all about budget, just because, you know, saving money is better than spending money. But there's going to be certain levels that at some point it doesn't make it worth it. If you only have X amount of dollars to spend, at times, quite honestly, it's better if you just go console, because what you're gonna end up doing is limiting yourself and your enjoyment. You know, I have like a 10-year-old gaming PC that I put together that you could probably put together now for just a few $100, and it was an i5 3570K, an i5 3570K, and Haswell chip, and I had an RX 480 8GB, and I was using that for quite some time, and honestly I was getting pretty decent frame rates at 720 to 1080p depending on where I wanted to be. Mostly I ran it at 1080p, and I would get rather playable frame rates. The main reason for me upgrading was because I wanted to try my hand at VR, and at VR it just, that RX 480 just wasn't handling it anymore. So it's one of those where if you're okay with those lower end graphics, it could work for you. But I'm more than certain that within some short period of time, you're gonna want to update, or you're gonna want the upgraded fidelity. You're gonna want, you know, better than 1080p. You're gonna want 1440. You're gonna want your sims to look really good. You want them to run as lag free as possible. And unfortunately, the way things have been lately, hardware has gotten so expensive. I miss the days of GTX cards that, you know, the most expensive cards were like $300-400 bucks. You know, now we're in the realm of RTX, and the most expensive cards are like $2 grand. You know, that was a very hard pill to swallow, coming from the OG days of, it was expensive then, but at least it was within the realm of possibility. Now it's just like, I can't touch an RTX 4090. That's way out of my budget. You know, if I even hinted at getting an RTX 4090, my wife would look at me like I'm crazy. You know, she's, you're gonna spend how much on a video card that in about a year or so they're gonna release the new one that's going to, you know, make it, I'm not gonna say obsolete, but it's gonna be the hot new thing that everybody's gonna want. So I've tried BMG and couldn't handle it. Gets very hot. I've never tried BeamNG. I've never tried it at all. I've seen it, and I know with that, I believe there's something called automation or something, and you can like build an engine in that particular game, I think in like Automation, you can build an engine and then transfer that engine from Automation to BMG, put it into your car, and then drive that. I thought that was super freaking cool and awesome. I don't really have the time to invest and sit there and do that. You know what? I think I've got... I think I'm okay. I'm not running super fast lap times, but I think I'm okay. Let's turn on some light rain. Because I know that's what everybody wants to see. Nobody wants to see me running around in a circle in a boring ass car. People came to see rain. That's what everybody wants to see. Everybody wants to see rain and how different computers are handling rain, because no lie, if you thought you had a beefy machine, turn on rain and then turn on a bunch of in-game AI, or go into a multiplayer game that's got a bunch of cars, and you're gonna see your frame rates take a hit. So I'm normally running 200 plus frames at times, you know, like 160 to 200 frames. Rain with other cars, I've seen it get down to the 80s, you know. So yeah. All right, test drive. We're gonna keep doing a test drive though. We're gonna keep this static, but now we're gonna do light rain. We won't do very light rain. We'll just do light rain. Or it says track moisture. Let's see if track moisture means rain. I did try AC and was brutal with the graphics and even more detail. Yeah. It's just one of those things where on PC, you can run it on modest hardware, but you'll quickly get tired of it. You know, you'll quickly be in the, oh, I kind of want this to look better. And at that point, then you start chasing your tail on, you know, I need an upgraded processor now. I need an upgraded GPU. If I'm upgrading the processor, I'm upgrading the GPU. I'm gonna want a little bit more RAM. If I get a little bit more RAM, now I may need, depending on my GPU, I might need a new PSU. And PSU prices have gone kind of crazy. I did not expect them. That was not in my 2023-2024 bingo card of, you know, the prices of PSUs, of power supplies, to go up the way they did. And I remember you can get really great, you know, gold, you know, 80 plus gold rated power supplies for 60 bucks. And now you can't touch anything that's decent for under 100. It's like, damn. Yeah, so you see before where I was running at about 160, 170 frames, I'm now at 126. So rain does really. Now, I wonder if the hit that we're taking in performance is just because maybe the Tempest system is not fully optimized yet. So with time, look, I'm dipping down into the hundreds now. I'm wondering if with time and updates they do to it, you know, to the coding, we may see more streamlined. I should have done that. You know, if we'll see more streamlined code that kind of doesn't make it as resource intensive. You know, because a lot of guys that, you know, they pretty much have decent systems. It was sim racing place, and it was awful. What was so? I mean, like, was it a store that sold equipment and had them set up, or was it someplace like Dave and Buster's where, you know, you can pay and go sit on some of the bigger rigs and try out, you know, more professional hardware? It's like, this isn't realistic in what they claim. They claim this. Yeah, there's one place by me, which is actually a rather noted. They have the driving sim setups like the full thing. Yeah, so I'm about 20 minutes away from Rick Motec, and Rick Motec has actually been in the sim scene for quite some time. They sell sim racing hardware. They have their own branded sim racing equipment. They have a showroom. They have simulators set up that you can rent time on. They hold a racing series. I mean, even here in iRacing, Rick Motec does have the Ringmeister series, where you're racing different cars, I think, different weeks at the Nordschleifer. So, I mean, Rick Motec is, you know, a rather known name, and they're 20 minutes away from it. And I've been there to buy some stuff, check out some of their hardware, and their stuff is awesome. And the guys there are super nice. They're super knowledgeable. I mean, it's nice to have something like that close by. Fanatec equipment. I wonder, like visually on screen, how did it look? Or should I say, like, what sims were they running? Like, what software? And how did it, you know, how did it look? Were they obviously using underpowered equipment? Damn, this rain is just no joke. This rain is no joke at all. No joke on this rain. PC modded AC. Wow. I can tell you, I've got my AC with so many mods, you know, and it runs beautifully. Like, that's always my go-to. Yeah, I just can't seem to pick up the pace here. Oh, did I put on... I don't think I have wet tires on. That's why. Let me see. Oh, maybe I do. You know what? Let me go in. Let me pit and let me see. Everything like full optimum. Okay. Oh. Oh my god. Reading the chat completely. All right, let's see if they'll change out my tires now to wet. Yep, looks like they're replacing the tires. Good. I'll get some wet tires on there. Like, well, you see, now that's the thing when you actually do high performance driving and you've got somebody telling you or setting up, and maybe they don't have that kind of experience, and what they think they have it set up really isn't all that great, obviously, you know, like, and then some people are just really difficult to... My home setup is better. Yeah. You know, some people are just a little bit hard-headed sometimes, and you can tell them, hey, you know what, this isn't good, and they'll just look at you like, what are you talking about? You don't know what you're talking about. All right, let's see. Now I believe I have wet weather tires on. So let's just get accustomed to this. It probably is. Yeah, I mean, excuse me, I do miss my 3 screens. That I really do miss. You know, this whole being on one screen kind of sucks. I really do I really do miss my 3 screens. Wow, 60 for an hour. That's I feel like that's a little much. You know, but then, you know what? I think Rick Mote, you know what? I gotta double check exactly how much they are. Maybe he is the going rate, but you know, it's still a point where, damn, that's kind of expensive, you know. Maybe I need to have my see, now that sucks if you know, you're the only one in there. You know, I had even toyed with the idea of getting a full motion setup and putting it in like a trailer and renting out the trailer for like birthday parties and stuff. You know, I mean, I don't know if you've seen, they have some of those bigger size trailers where they'll set up a bunch of TVs and a bunch of consoles, and then they'll roll up to kids parties, and so the kids can sit and play video games at a kids party. I think that's kind of stupid. Like, personally, if I'm gonna do something like that for the boys, I'd just rather get like a bounce house or something where they can go and get exercise, you know, go run around and work off all the sugar that they're probably gonna be having that day at the party. Or take them to like a jump zone or something where they can just go and get themselves super tired, you know. But you know, racing rig set up in a trailer and pull up and, hey, you know, for an adult party, that would be kind of cool. This is not going to be good. That's not going to be good. And they charge some extra if you want to go on the Nürburgring because of the extra wear. What extra? Oh my god! Because it's 9 minutes around the Nürburgring, you know, instead of like maybe 2 minutes that most, you know, courses are. If that. Like, let's see, what are my times going around here? A minute 15. I should be able to do this. But okay, in Assetto Corsa, I can do this sub-minute. In actually quite a few sims, I can do this. So I can do Lime Rock, this particular layout, sub 1 minute. In iRacing, I cannot. There's just extra wear of the full motion. Ugh, they're those kind of people. That was too late. It's those kind of people. Those kind of people are running that. You know, they think they know everything and they just want to try to nickel and dime you because nobody's showing up to their little sim shop. And honestly, they're probably gatekeeping. How were they when you were there? Did they seem, you know, welcoming and inclusive, or were they just kind of like, you know, I know what the hell I'm talking about and nothing you could say could change my mind? You know, unfortunately, in lots of hobbies, it's like that. In the gun world, I can tell you, I've been to so many gun shops where, you know, the guys there think they know everything about everything. And if you go in and you're like, hey, you know, I'm looking for this, and they're like, but why do you want that for? I'm like, well, I'm looking for this particular reason. You know, I have this set up. And like, oh, that doesn't work. I'm like, well, this is what I do and I know it works, so I'm not asking for your advice, just kind of, do you have what I'm looking for or not? So that way I can just order it online if I have to. Yeah, people like that bother me. And people that like to gatekeep particular hobbies acting that way, oh my god, they get on my nerves so much. The RC hobby, there's so many people. I mean, I've run across so many people that want to gatekeep certain hobbies, and it's just like ridiculous. Like, if anything, you want to be welcoming to everybody, so that way your little world of a particular hobby grows. You want more people interested. The more people that are interested, the more good things that come your way. You know, if you got more people racing RC cars, more companies are going to want to start producing RC car and RC car parts. If you want, you know, if you're more inclusive to the sim community and, you know, not being a total douchebag, you'll have more people that A, will want to come to your shop, and B, more people that'll sim race. More companies will be like, hey, you know what, let's start making some stuff for, you know, sim racers. But I can't stand certain gatekeepers. I just really can't. You know, especially when it comes to like kids. Oh, I absolutely love introducing kids to new hobbies, especially stuff that makes you use your brain and is hands-on activities. You know, I love gaming, and I love that my kids love to game, but I like them to use their hands also, you know, build things, you know, arts, crafts, you know, using popsicle sticks and tape and glue to like build stuff. I really enjoy that, you know, and I have tools and stuff that when they're old enough to use them safely, they can just go crazy and start building whatever they want, like I did when I was a kid. You know, I want my kids to build themselves go-karts, you know, build yourself an arcade machine. I've done that. Yeah, turn in a little earlier. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna do this last lap, and then we'll go into an AI race with just a few cars and see if I can actually manage to scrape together something and not come in dead last. Yeah, man, in the rain, it looks like 113, 112 is my best. All right, let's see. Now that I'm stopping, I can go ahead and actually look at the chat. I'm gonna have to do something. I don't know if I'm gonna have to move my screen from here to like over here, so that way I can just kind of glance up instead of having to look over and completely take my eyes off the screen. There we go. Let's see here. The owner was there, and that's why it's not realistic. I told him. Just doesn't. I'm about to tell him I drive on pretty hard all the time. Well, you see, and that's the thing. Like, you'll have some people that, you know, you can go ahead and they're like, oh, and how do you know? And then you'll go ahead and you can tell them, oh, you know, this is why. This is the experience that I have in, you know, in doing this. So this is why I'm feeling what you've got here isn't actually to what it maybe should be. And they'll just call bullshit on you, or they'll probably tell you, oh, you know, your car isn't set up properly. You know, if you're not feeling this or that, you know, you probably don't have the right setup, and just a bunch of bullshit. You know, just sometimes it's not even worth it with people like that. I just don't even bother, you know. All right, so let's get rid of this. Kia Optima. I am so torn because I really like TCR racing. Like in Rensport, when they added the street courses, they also added some touring cars, and I've been driving the Audi. I think the RS4 something, one of the Audi touring cars they have in Rensport, and it's so much fun. I really enjoy it. But and I race them in Assetto Corsa all the time, and whichever other sims I'm able to. But here, I don't want to pay $12 for the car. I really don't. All right, let's do Lime Rock. Where's Lime Rock? Where's Lime Rock? My favorite, my favorite, my favorite. Am I just complete? Yeah, look, I'm completely missing it. Yep, we're gonna do the Grand Prix. Oh, excuse me. I'm so sorry, guys. You know, with all the coughing. All right, so we got raining happening. Insured. All right. We're good. We're good with that. Sports car. All right. I gotta just remember 13 cars. Actually, you know what? Let's take it down to 12. I'll be car number 13. Skill, I think that'll be fine. What's up, the bigger beard? How are you doing tonight? Thank you for joining the stream. I'm just going ahead and setting up a AI race in iRacing using the Toyota GR86, since that's one of the very few free cars that has wet weather tires at my favorite track, Lime Rock. I'm one of my favorite tracks, Lime Rock, the Grand Prix layout. Oh, I gotta hit race. I always forget that. I'm gonna just listen to you guys talk some shit. Oh, listen. I'm real good for that. I'm real good for talking some shit. You get me started on the right subject, like Fanatec. Oh, you know what? Yeah, now that you say it, I'm gonna have to start talking some shit about Fanatec. So I don't know if anybody saw, but they released a new bundle today. The Fanatec is fucking killing me here. They can't get their shit sorted out. They can't get their logistics right. They switched from whatever warehouse they were using in California to one in Texas, or maybe they're using both. Apparently now the one in Texas is all fucked up. You know, the one in Texas is sending out bullshit. They're sending out wrong orders. So already we got that issue. But they go ahead and now they release a new bundle. So they release a new Club Sport DD Plus F1 bundle. And this is using their new Club Sport DD Plus PlayStation compatible 15 Newton meter wheel. The one that they pre-ordered during the Black Friday time that people couldn't get because it was sold out, or just it wasn't shipping yet, or they were still waiting on the okay from Sony. Just a bunch of bullshit, right? So they finally kind of sort of get things sorted out, and they start shipping the base. Like, 2 weeks after they ship the base, they start shipping the bases. They release a new bundle, a new Gran Turismo bundle, the DD Extreme bundle. So I'm now pissed because had I known that was coming out, I would have bought that instead of the one I got. The fucking CEO, a few weeks before, goes on an interview with Kirith. Shout out to my man Kirith for doing the interview. Where toward the end of the interview, you know, he's being and giving shitty answers. And he talks some smack about how when they originally released the CSL DD back a few years ago, people gave them shit because after they announced it and they released it, they then announced the PlayStation version soon after. And people were giving them shit like, hey, why didn't you tell us this before? Because we wouldn't have bought the regular PC/Xbox version, and we would have bought the PlayStation version. So they fucked that one up back in the day. So now they released this new base. You know, they actually announced the two at the same time, but they're delayed on the PlayStation version because of Sony, or they claim so, whatever. So people are getting, you know, their bases, and weeks after they freaking announce that they're shipping a new Gran Turismo bundle, and people are like, what the fuck? Why didn't you? So essentially they did the same damn thing again. So Fanatec just doesn't fucking learn at all. They just don't learn. They continuously make the same mistakes, you know. So I mean, that's just amazing that they get away with this shit. And now today they announce a new Club Sport DD bundle for the PlayStation that has the F1 wheel, that has that Formula 2.5 wheel, but I guess it's blue forged carbon. So that's, when did Sony's color default to being blue? I mean, I've been a Sony fan forever. I don't ever remember really Sony's default color being blue, but whatever. So they announced this, and once again, people are pissed. They're like, what the fuck? Why couldn't you just announce all these bundles at the same time, so then we could have made our decisions whether or not we just wanted to buy the base, or if we wanted to spend the $1,300 to get the special wheel with the base. Oh, I'm sure you've got something really good there, but I'm trying not to crash, and I really want to read it. So I'm going, let me see if I can like just make it around this so I can go back and read it. But yeah, I mean, you see, here's the thing. I'm sure Fanatec is spending a grip of fucking money advertising their real, you know, the actual racing series and slapping their names on cars, and, you know, all the advertisement they're doing in Europe and even here in the US in the, you know, that World GT racing, you know, which honestly is awesome. You know, that's cool. And you're able to kind of bring some of that real world racing to us gamers. That's cool and all. But come on, at the same time, dude, you can't screw your customer base. Not the people that are paying your bills. You know, we're buying the equipment, so we're giving you money to buy that equipment, and you're screwing us with, you know, no communication, poor shipping time, you know, bad customer service, you're taking forever to do RMAs. You're essentially pushing people to other brands. You're really not harboring brand loyalty at this point, you know, and you keep making mistakes, realizing you made mistakes in the past, and then do the same mistakes, you know. And the thing is that not many people call them out, because you have so many fucking dick riders that just want to sit there, oh, Fanatec is the best, you know, Fanatec is amazing. You know what? As a company, Fanatec sucks dick. They really do. They make a good product. I'm not gonna lie and say, oh, Fanatec's gear sucks. It doesn't. I've got this GTDD Pro. It's fucking good. But it's not so good that I'm going to overlook all the bullshit that they do. You know, and I can understand you're not gonna hear anything from a lot of YouTubers just because they get sent free stuff, and, you know, hardware reviews gets views. You know, there's no going around that. I mean, I try to do as much hardware reviews as I can, but all of my hardware reviews, minus the Camus C5 that Camus sent me, everything else I pay for. So like the Turtle Beach, I want to do the review on that, but honestly, the initial reviews are so poor that I really don't want to spend almost $700 on that to review it for the channel, when honestly, OC Racing did an amazing review of it, and his conclusion at the end of the review was that it was rather lackluster. And if you go back a month to my partial first look or review of all the information that came out and my thoughts on it at the time, it's exactly what I figured it was going to be. If you go and watch what I put on video, and then you go watch his review, I'm pretty much spot on with what he said. And I'd even have the hardware. This was just all, you know, from experience and looking at, you know, the information they were providing and what is available and what's possible. So it's like, I know some of the YouTubers really aren't going to call them out, and I can understand why, but at the same time, it's just like, you know, just sucks. You know, when you've got situations like this, you feel like you're torn between your mom and your dad. You know, it's like, oh, okay, you know, on the one hand, yeah, they give me good information, but yeah, on the other hand, this company's doing some fucked up shit. But they have good things. Which way do I go? You know, and it's like, if anything, it's really not a good thing for the consumer. And this is why on my end, like, I kind of try to gear my channel toward information. All the information that I can bring you that I can afford. And where my wife won't kill me to ask me, why did you buy another wheel? Like, babe, it's like Pokemon. I gotta have them all. You know, I don't question why I buy you so many damn purses, do I? You know? Do you want me to go, you know, I tell my wife, I'm like, do you want me to go down the rundown And she's like, no, 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 don't forget it. Okay, yeah, go back to your office. Go do your review. I'm like, thank you. But it's like, shit, you know, it sucks, you know, because you've got some of these YouTubers like Boosted Media, and this is no shade at Will, because Will does an amazing job. He really does, you know. But in the video that he did today on the PlayStation Formula with the CSDD Plus, you know, he admitted that he knew that the Extreme was coming out months ago. He had it for months, but because of NDAs and, you know, stuff, he couldn't say anything. And that's like, oh, that sucks. You know, it sucks that these companies are so shitty, you know, that they'll lock information down like this, when honestly they would have probably made more money had they announced them all at the same time. So people wouldn't have bought the Club Sport DD Plus, and they would have probably been like, you know what, fuck that. Instead of spending $1,000, I'll spend the $1,300 and get the one with the cool wheel. And then, oh, which wheel do I want? Do I want the Gran Turismo wheel, or do I want the Formula wheel? You know, and I'll wait. Because quite honestly, you know, I feel that us sim racers are extremely reasonable people, and given information like that, we'll be like, you know what? If I really want this, I'll wait for it, and I'll get this one instead. You know, but if they don't tell us anything, and then they like, surprise, you're like, fuck, don't surprise me like that. Let me know ahead of time. You know, so I've sworn off Fanatec. I'm not buying anything else from Fanatec directly. If I buy anything, it's going to be secondhand. I'm not buying anything directly from them. If anybody in the sim community is ever selling anything, if I come across stuff on Facebook Marketplace or anything, I'll buy it there than instead of ordering it from Fanatec directly. I'd rather give another sim racer money so that way they can do something super cool than give Fanatec money. You know, that's my stance. And given the opportunity, I would love the DD Extreme. You know, I would love to feel the 15 Newton meter wheelbase. I would love to play with that new wheel, but I'm not, at this point, I'm not giving Fanatec $1,300. Had they gotten to me around Black Friday, you know, when I ordered this whole setup, I probably would have given them the $1,300 then, but now, nah. You know, so God knows when I'll get my hands on that wheel, if I'm actually even able to. And I'm reading mixed reports whether or not that wheel will work with the old DD Pro wheelbase with the 8 Newton meter or 5/8 Newton meter wheelbase. So if it doesn't work, then that shit will suck. I know I'll have to upgrade to a QR2. You know, maybe I'll get the bootleg QR2 from Alibaba or AliExpress or wherever the hell it is that's not Fanatec. Oh my god, there's so much good stuff in the chat, and I can't read it because I'm concentrating on my race where... Oh, one to go. Oh, no, that was it. So, at least I did not come in dead last. And I didn't crash out. So, that's a good thing. But it was a rather uneventful race. Very uneventful. Which I guess is a good thing, racing in the rain. Okay, I'm now going to pit when I come around to the pits, so that way I can catch up on the chat, because I really want to read what the bigger beard put up. I mean, I don't know if you can notice, I'm growing out my beard, and I have this thing where I'll grow it out to a certain length and then it gets annoying. I try to trim it, I ruin it, then I have to shave it all off and start again. Well, yeah, my beard grows a lot faster than the hair on my head. Way faster. Alright, let's pit in. Homie, I'm here. Bro, dude, that's rather rude. There we go. All right, let me get so I can stop so I can read this because I'm dying to read this chat. I'm so sorry. I'm still getting over this cold. You know, it's so funny that it's still been lingering. All right, you know what? If we're just gonna have the laps, I'll just have the start of the race running in the background while I read this. All right, so let's see if I can. All right, so yeah, World of Racing. Okay. All right, Rod Bearings. I was gonna ask you if you can, like, if you want to leave it here, or if you want to hit me up on IG at sunset_sim_racing. You can go ahead and link me there to them so I can check out their, you know, shorts or whatever. Okay, preach. Thank you. You forget they have god tier contracts. So much money's like the money is eclipses. Create existing lineup. Bro, it's just like, if Fanatec keeps running the way they are, they're fucking themselves. Honestly, I think okay, this is where I'm I'm not gonna. I love my PXN. You've used your PXN, so you're an idiot. It's come with shortcomings. It has that. There's no lie. I've been using this Club Sport DD. If the prices were equal, if let's say the PXN bundle was the same price as the Fanatec bundle, and Fanatec didn't have fucked up customer support, shipping notification, ordering notification, if, you know, PXN is a Chinese brand that has been making low cost sim equipment, direct drive bundles. They have two that they've been marketing recently, the V12 DDL, where the L stands for light. It's a 6 Newton meter direct drive wheelbase. They also have a DDS, which is a 10 Newton meter direct drive wheelbase. The DDL you can get in a bundle with a wheel, a desk clamp, pedals, and the base for, I bought it on Amazon when they were available there for about I think it was like $5.35. The good part with PXN is that they boast that it's Xbox and PlayStation compatible, which it is. So the way they get compatibility with PlayStation and with Xbox, you have to plug an Xbox controller into the back of the wheelbase. It has a little port for the gamepad. It's similar to how the Drive Hub and the Resolution work. So I don't know what voodoo they're doing, but it spoofs the consoles into thinking you have a Logitech G29 plugged in. So you can go ahead and use them. You can go ahead and, you know, set your buttons, you know, you can do whatever you need to do. But it thinks it's a G29, but it works. So for the Xbox, you plug in a Xbox controller, an official Xbox controller. I've had the best results with my Elite 2. On the PlayStation side, if you want to use it on PS4, you have to plug in a PS4 controller. Now for PS5, you can use this here. So this is the N5 dongle from PXN. This allows you to use it wirelessly with the PlayStation 5. Now, well, you see, and that's the thing. At the time when I found them, budget was priority. And I also had consoles that I had, you know, so I have my PC, I have my gaming PC, and I have PlayStation, Xbox. On PlayStation, I like playing Gran Turismo 7, Gran Turismo Sport. On Xbox, I was running Forza 7, ACC. The funny part is that on Xbox, all of this, pretty much all the sims and games on Xbox, you can run on PC. So it's like kind of a But on PlayStation, if its thing is Gran Turismo, so if you want to play Gran Turismo, you're stuck. There's no Gran Turismo for PC yet. I'm hoping they release it. So at that time, I was like, damn, I really have all these consoles that I use, and I want one wheel setup that I can just use across everything. Just make it easier on me. And in doing the research, you know, I had originally a G29 and I wanted to move up from there after I did some upgrades, and I'm just like, damn, I kind of want something that's going to work across everything. I came across very few options. At the time, Logitech had just announced the G Pro. The problem with the G Pro is that it's $1,000 just for the wheelbase. They have no other wheels either. So you can remove the wheel, but they have nothing else to replace it with. So you're stuck using the D-shaped wheel that it comes with. It's 10 Newton meters. It's, you know, it's actually quality. I've been with iRacing since March. I think it's going to be a year now, but I don't race online. I don't do any online racing with iRacing. I only do AI racing, and kind of a quick reason is I'm still not all that great, and I don't want to go into a race and ruin someone else's race, especially if maybe they're like me and they have very limited time to race. It would really suck, and I would feel bad that if I went into a race, somebody maybe only has that amount of time to do that one race, and because of one of my mistakes, I took them out and ruined the rest of their day for racing. So because of that, I'm just like, you know what? I'm fine racing AI. I don't really feel like racing online. So back to the whole PXN thing. So I really wanted one setup. Logitech was just too expensive. Fanatec, it's like $700 just for the PlayStation version of the CSLDD. I'm not paying almost $800 before shipping. You know, I think it's like with shipping and taxes, you're looking at almost, you know, $900. That's crazy. So I came across PXN on Amazon, and it touted, you know, 6 Newton meters of power, NRG styled quick release, so you're able to use different companies' wheels with it, which is great. And console compatibility for a $535 price tag with shipping. Well, not really shipping because I'm a Prime member, but including tax. So I said, why not? So I said, why not? Why not try it? And I did, and I started making videos, and, you know, that was pretty much, you know, all she wrote. You know, that's really like what kind of started me with this. And then from there, it kind of snowballed. I ended up getting an R5 from I bought an R5, Moza R5 to test out. And then I bought the Fanatec setup to test out. I reached out to Camus, and Camus was like, oh yeah, cool, you know, make some videos about it, and, you know, here we go, we'll, you know, send you a C5 to test out. This is of course a year after the C5 has been out, but they sent me one. So, you know, I've been testing all this equipment. Turtle Beach now announces their new direct drive, and I was on the fence whether or not I should go with that one, but I've already explained, you know, my reasonings behind that. But yeah, PXN is like, you know, has been my go-to. And their customer service is great. The issues that I've, you know, the very few issues I've had, you know, I had this weird issue where the base went into a deep sleep. I talked to the guys, we went back and forth with their, you know, with their programming team, you know, their hardware team, and they sent me out a whole new wheelbase. Now, the old wheelbase did that maybe 2 or 3 times and never did it again. But they sent me out a whole new wheelbase, you know, to make sure that everything was taken care of. With that N5 dongle, I was having issues where I would get random disconnects while playing PlayStation 5. Like, it was like I was turning off the wheelbase. So I kept, you know, we were back and forth with it, and they were like, look, We're gonna send you a new N5 dongle. Test this one out and let me know if it works. This is the new one they sent. I haven't had time to hook everything up to test it out, but PXN has been super helpful about everything. You know, they went ahead and they sent me out some information about the new products they were having coming out. I think it was like Q2 of this year, so I think it would be around this time, you know, around March. So they have a 15 Newton meter base coming out, which I hope that I get to try out from them. They have a load cell set of pedals coming out, which I'm dying to get my hold of. I have their handbrake, which is actually really good. I have their shifter. Actually, they did send me their shifter, and it's a really good shifter. It's a good option to the Logitech shifter that works with PC, that works with the consoles as long as you plug it into the wheelbase, and it also works with Thrustmaster. They send you the cable to plug it into your Thrustmaster wheelbase. So, I mean, they like cover all your bases there. But they have a new shifter coming out that's very similar to the Moza sequential shifter that they have. No, actually, it's similar to the Moza H pattern shifter, not the new sequential, to the H pattern. So they have some new products that should be coming out that I'm hoping that my relationship with them, you know, I'm able to bring you like exclusives of it. I do need to hook the PXN back up just because it's been a minute and I do miss it. I have a custom wheel for it that I got from Acelith, and I put together with another wheel and made this cool little button box wheel type deal. Let me see. Okay, thank you for tagging me. I'll go ahead and I'll take a look at it. Okay, how long you should get my rig? The NRG. Listen, the more wheels that have that NRG style, or should I say the more bases and the more companies that adopt that NRG styled quick release, the nicer it is. You know, now we have options, you know. Yeah, most of the decent wheels don't come with, you know, quick releases, so that way you can have your own option of what you want to use, but I kind of really like that NRG style. So I bought the P2000s last year. How do you like those? I think that's the Sim Magic pedals. I think that's who makes the P2000s. How are you liking those? Yeah, Sim Magic pedals. I know that they have their P1000 setup. Their P1000s, they have like all of these additions on. So they have the rumble motors, which I think is super awesome, but they also have a hydraulic kit that you can hook up to it, so you can have a actual real hydraulic pedal feel. You know, I think that in itself is freaking awesome. You know, and if I wasn't, you know, kind of quasi locked into console compatibility, you know, getting an actual nice set of pedals that's apart from any of the ecosystems I'm already invested in would probably be high up on my priorities of what I want to change. Or yeah, mine have the 2-stage hydraulic brake. It's wonderful. I tried a hydraulic brake that Ricmotech developed and produces while I was at their shop when I was trying out the Moza R3. They had it on. I swear to God, it felt like I was in an actual car. Like that pedal feel was just so linear, I mean, I felt like I was in an actual car with that pedal. And after feeling that, I'm just like, damn, I kind of need this. If, you know, how can I get this and still use it on my PlayStation and Xbox? See, that's really what's holding me back. What's really keeping me back is my PlayStation and Xbox. That's really what's keeping me back. If I were able to just, if freaking Polyphony and Sony would just release Gran Turismo 7 on, I'm gonna save this one. If they would just release Gran Turismo 7 on PC already, you know, like they've done a few other games like Spider-Man. If they just did that, I would be so happy. At that point, I would just relegate the Xbox to the living room or to my bedroom so I can just kind of play Call of Duty there. And not even bother with any of the Sims there, because all the Sims on Xbox I can play on my PC. And the PlayStation 5, I'll just leave it, I'll put that with for the kids in the living room or in the game room, and just then I could just play Gran Turismo on PC, and I would be happy. If I could have Gran Turismo on PC, I would be a happy person. At that point, I can then stop thinking about also needing console compatibility and just go full balls to the wall PC on the sim equipment and be good to go. I have my doubts about getting a GT port to PC. Got to keep something to self. Well, I mean, here's the thing. They've talked about it. Sony has released a few of their, Spider-Man made it to PC. A few games made it to PC that were pretty much console PlayStation exclusives. I really feel that there's enough market. I really feel like there's enough of a market. No GT creator has talked about it. Are you talking about Kaz has he mentioned it? Because I could have swear Sony had. I would have to look up the article, but Sony had mentioned about bringing their titles to PC, and Gran Turismo was one of the titles that was mentioned in coming to PC. That would be my dream. Yeah, I can see Kaz mentioning it because but I could have sworn it was one of those things where I was gonna have to go and see if I can pull up the article. But either way, I think there's enough there to be able to offer Gran Turismo for both platforms. And I don't think either one is going to cannibalize the other. If they released Gran Turismo on PC, you still have the greatness and the ease of playing with your controller on a PlayStation 5 in your living room. All that does is then open up Gran Turismo to a whole nother market that maybe doesn't even want to touch console. Because, I mean, PC Master Race is kind of a real thing, like there's some PC guys that are just hardcore, and consoles, which kind of started it all, really. Consoles is kind of like one of the founding systems of gaming, and it has its place. But some PC guys are just iRacing and heavily modded AC with friends. I know, but there's just something about Gran Turismo. I remember getting my very first copy of the very first Gran Turismo back in the day, and just, oh my god, I loved that game. I mean, I was able to drive Skylines, I was able to drive the Escudo and make it do the wheelie. I mean, it was just like fun things. Like, all in all, I'm always going to be a console gamer at heart. There's just nothing better than sitting on my sofa, grabbing the controller, beer, pizza, and just gaming, all nice and calm on the sofa and just chilling. I've always had a gaming PC also. And honestly, all the same arguments that I make for console gaming, I've done the same things on PC. I've done, HTPCs where they're small form factor. I've got it in the, TV stand alongside my consoles, and I can connect my controller to the PC, and I can kind of do somewhat similar thing. Now, the whole using a controller on PC, there's that whole, it feels kind of weird. I don't know. There's just something about a controller on PC that just feels weird. It just feels weird to me. I mean, I'm sure there might be a few other people that kind of feel the same way, but at least specifically to me, it just feels a little weird. I don't always want to be with my mouse and keyboard getting super sweaty, like, no. Sometimes I just want to grab the controller and just sit there and just vegetate. And for me, console playing gaming is just relaxing and vegetating. When I do a little bit more, serious stuff like simming, or when I kind of want to get a little sweaty in Call of Duty, that's when I jump onto the PC. And them actually now allowing crossplay and allowing saves to go across, you know, different platforms is actually really nice. So when I just want to grind out some camos, you know, on the sofa or in my bed, in the bedroom, just, you know, casual, you know, I can go ahead and do that. But when I want to get kind of super sweaty, you know, on the PC, I grab my keyboard and mouse and I can get super sweaty, you know, and kind of rack up that KD. I know, I know. At some point I will, but for me, it's one of those, like I said, it's really not that big of a deal for me. Like, the AI gives me more than enough headache. So let's go ahead. Actually, you know what? Let me do some testing before I jump into a race at VIR North Course. Not necessarily scared. It's like I mentioned before. I just don't want to sit there and ruin somebody else's race. You know, it's just like, I know what it's like when you're sitting there and you're like, you have X amount of time. Rookies, I know it. It's just one of those things, like, and sometimes those races are kind of long. I don't have that attention span. You know, I'm not trying to sit here for 30 minutes at a time. You know, I could set 10 laps. That's like maybe 20 minutes, depending on the track. Maybe. Yes, lots of excuses. Quite honestly, I have fun going against AI. So that's why I've never really made it that big of a deal to jump on with multiplayer. You know, and I'll play with some of my friends on my servers on Assetto Corsa, because I do have a few different courses. A few servers set up with like specific cars and specific servers on Assetto Corsa, and like me and my friends will hop on there, and that's where we're pretty much talking shit. So, did I do this wet or dry? I'll figure it out. You know, but either way, I just enjoy it. I enjoy the gear. I enjoy racing against AI. I kind of also enjoy just racing against myself. You know, I sit here and I'll do a lap, and I'm like, okay, I can try this again. And I can try this again and see if I can do this faster. And I'll just continue on that cycle. Like, oh, I think I can do this faster. I think I do this faster. Next thing you know, 4 hours later, you know, like 500 laps later, and I'm like, oh, I gotta get to bed. I was considering getting a issues upgrade was so that's similar to a butt kicker setup, correct? So I had considered, I saw the DIY with using the Dayton, the small transducer pucks, and setting it up on like each of the 4 corners of my sim rig to kind of give me that, you know, per wheel feel. You know, take the time in Sim Hub to set it up so that way, you know, I'm getting certain things from each wheel during whatever I happen to be doing. Well, yeah, I would imagine that a big 300 watt, that's going to just be a vibe all over. You know, that's definitely going to be a butt kicker. You know, you're definitely going to feel that. You know, I was considering going something smaller to kind of add a little bit more detail, you know, some nuance to like some things. So when I'm going over curbing like this, so I can feel it in the wheel a little bit, but I want to be able to feel it in the wheel that's going over on the side of my sim rig. You know, so like if my front left and front and rear driver's side is going over it, I want to feel the rumbles coming from that side of my rig. And how do they like that? I would honestly want to get a motion setup, but motion setups are just so expensive. And I know I can do a DIY, but at this current moment, I don't have the facilities to do a DIY setup. You know, so I was looking at that, what is it, SMX 1000 or SMX 100, something like that. I'm part of the Facebook group. $50 watts under the seat, lined up. I see buttholes on my and under the pedal plate. I'm sure one lined up under the butthole is going to feel rather interesting. I do have to say, I'm trying to remember which sim is it. I think it's either AMS2 or Race Room. In the force feedback area, they let you add in certain rumbles to your wheel, and you can do shifting. So every time you shift, you get like a little rumble in your wheel. I love that feature. When I'm upshifting and I get this little rumble, I feel it in the wheel. I'm like, oh, that's so cool. Adding that little extra bit of immersion. You know, I think I have to set to like 5 or 10%. I'm also sure I can get much better handling if I actually set these cars up and not just used the default setups. Well, I mean, yeah, pretty much for the most part, you do get it in your seat. I mean, when you're going over like a rumble strip, you kind of do feel it reverberate through the whole car eventually, you know, especially if you like hit it with one specific tire. Oh, I was a little too late on that one. So that's kind of why I wanted to go with like some of the smaller Dayton audio pucks, you know, also because they were a bit more inexpensive. And just do the four puck setup on like each corner. Maybe do one on the seat if I want to add a little bit of seat jiggle to it. For the pedals, I had considered doing the we've right about. Oh, that's so sad to hear. Now, was it because you were just running are they just delicate because they're so small, or were you just running them so often that they decided to crap out because they were just getting a lot of input? Small pucks really overheat quickly. The small ones are cheap. Well, yeah, that's kind of why it was a little the small ones are more attractive because they're cheaper, you know, and being smaller, you can go ahead, and that's why I wanted to kind of do it, you know, in the corners. If you mount fans, oh, at that point, that sounds like it's becoming a bit more of an ordeal. Okay. Ah, lovely. Oh, do I have damage on? I think I have damage on. Oh, wow. The big one. Well, yeah. Jesus, I only meant to stream tonight for just a short period of time, and here we are almost an hour and a half later. I'm sure that wouldn't be too difficult to do and 3D print something where you know, you can put, well, like what kind of fan do you think would be sufficient? So do you think like maybe 80 to 120 mil PC style fan would be enough to cool it down? Yeah, I know chat is too good. That's the problem. You get me fucking talking and I don't stop talking. That's why my videos are an hour long. Ah, you see, I'm not paying attention. I'm not paying attention. Okay. Okay, hold on. I think my car is all messed up too. So I need to, yeah, my car was all messed up. You know what? I think that's enough. Let's go ahead and let's just do a race. Let's just send it. No, we don't need to see me crashing. We don't need to see me crashing. Oh, that was a hard hit. I will check out the reels. You know, if they're acting like douches in the reels, I definitely want to check that out. I love laughing when people are acting like douchebags. And let's change this. Let's see, where is VIR? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? There you go. North course, my fave, and everything else can stay the same. Oh, oh. Ah, I know that feeling. All right, well, Bigger Beard, have a good night. Thank you for chatting along here with us. I hope you don't become a stranger. I will try to stream more often so that way, you know, I can actually say, oh, I'm going to be here at a certain time. All right, let's see. I'm not seeing where you sent me the link, but I'm just going to go back into the chat to see if I can pull it up. Okay, what was their name again? Because I'm looking and I'm not seeing it. That's the thing. I don't see the tag on Instagram. I'm on my Sunset Sim Racing and I'm not seeing the World of Racing. Okay, let me look them up. World of Racing. It has a red bro. Okay. Okay, I see. I see. I see. I see.
Of racing, we got 3 tracks, 3 cars, 3 races. We'll see how we do. World of Racing holds a race night every Thursday night. We get the opportunity to go up against 12 other racers.
Okay, so I'm watching this reel. Their facility looks really good. How is it possible that they have their shit not set up properly and this looks like a really good facility? Like, that's such a freaking waste.
We're at Okayama in a Formula 2.
Like, motion, triple monitors, big ass triple monitors. Why are they using a Fanatec wheel on a Simicube base? Why? Why are they using crappy, or no, is that even a... Oh my god. The optimal way to take the corkscrew. Oh man, I have a feeling I'm going to go down okay, now is there any video that you recommend I should watch of all of these? Like, what's the most cringiest one? Dito, they got these little kids. Oh no, okay, I can't make fun of little kids. Yeah, it's probably a cringe fest with that one, but I'm not gonna make fun of the little kids. Damn, now this is the thing. They look like they have a really good facility. But if things aren't set up properly, that sucks balls. Like, what a waste. Let me go ahead. Let's get some racing done. Where's my cursor? There we go. All right, let's see if I can go ahead and it not be a total suckfest. Hopefully I can make it around the course, not crash, not come in last place. Last race I did not come in last place, so that was a good thing. All right. Ooh, we're in. Let me make sure I got the correct tires on. Yep. There we go. I'm not going to make that mistake again. Let's grid up. All right. When I'm done racing, I will go ahead and check it out. Wow, man, this sucks so much that I see my FPS tank too. All right, DM, that's even better. That's funny if it's raining by you. Well, you know what? I've had rain kind of on and off today also. Damn it. That was all my bad. All my bad. That's it. They're gone. I'm not catching up. Trying to be too gentle. Dang it. Okay. I think I am done for the night. Allow me on AC of the dudes, but yeah, I think. You see, now that's the type of stuff that I miss. You know, that's the fun of, you see, now that's the fun of gaming. And like I said, you know I say I don't play online, but you know, that's kind of the stuff that is memorable from back in the day. Yeah, this was just not a good endeavor for me tonight. So I am, oh, it's already 1:30. I gotta get to bed. So with that, I'm gonna thank everyone who was here in the stream, all those chatting. Thank you very much. I recorded it all, sent it on IG. Awesome. I thank everyone who watched, everybody who participated. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Like I normally say, I can't say I have a really hard schedule. I'll know, I can tell you, oh, I'm definitely going to be back on tomorrow. If I am, it's probably around the same time I usually do, you know, late. So, you know, I'll try. But for real, I remember what, bro, Black Ops 1? Do you remember the shit talking on Black Ops 1? You know, let me see.
Yeah, first week will be.
Okay, so I'm looking at, I'm not seeing anything here. Ah, there we go. There we go. Okay, I got it. Hold on. Let me also make sure that I add you. Make sure I follow you. This can stop being stupid. There we go. I gave you the follow back. Now let me take a look at this video.
For the world of racing, and here's why. World of Racing has the most realistic simulators available that feature ultra-high definition displays, accurate steering feedback and brake pressure, and extreme levels of suspension, travel, and vibration.
Oh my God.
It is the most intense and realistic sim racing experience you will find.
But their shit is set up
Go
bad.
here, you will never be able to enjoy your home setup again.
Yeah, no, I'll still enjoy my home
On a
setup.
home simulator setup,
Yeah, that was rather cringe. I'll still enjoy my home setup better than their ill set up system. All right, guys. So now, for real, I am going to head out. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Thank you, everyone, for participating. I greatly appreciate it. I am honored that you take your time to watch my videos, to like them, to sub, to follow. Yeah, I hate that stupid AI voice thing too. But thank you to everyone. Rodbrains, thank you so much. Thank you for keeping me company tonight. I will try to be on tomorrow. Can't make any promises, but I'll try to be on tomorrow. I think I've already run my course with iRacing. So yeah, over here it's 1:35 in the morning. So I think tomorrow maybe we'll do some Gran Turismo, maybe some AMS2. I don't know. We'll sort it out, but I think I'm pretty much done with iRacing at Rain. So with that, as always, thank you so much. Thank you to everybody. You guys are amazing. And I will check y'all all out. Thank you. And I'll check y'all all out on the next video or the next live stream. Peace.